Great day, Inteletravel agents. I know we have 10 seconds until it's right top of the hour. Let's see. Let's see. My volume is on. My screen should be on. My voice is changing like Peter Brady. I just got back from 3 weeks of travel. I went from a Viking River cruise from Germany to France, back to Germany to Switzerland. Then I went to Miami for 3 days in between, because then I went to Jamaica for a wellness event. So I am back now, Mom. All right, it is top of the hour. We are getting started with our live Q&As on Friday. My name is Jessica Sitomer. I am your Vice President of Training. Now I see about 108 of you are on already. If somebody, oh, there you go. Hi, Jess, you forgot to take me with you. Very good, Richard. Thanks for letting me know that I'm on. You can hear me. All right. Well, today we are going to focus on something that has been coming up a lot on my Work It Wednesdays. And for those of you who are new agents, what I mean by new is you've never heard of what I'm talking about. In our, I'm sorry guys, my voice is still a little jet lagged. So if you are in our departure lounge, every Wednesday, I interview our suppliers, our preferred partners. And many of them recently have been talking about vendor events. And if you have people, this certain amount of people, that they will either attend or they will send you stuff for them. And I realized that many of our new agents and even some of our most seasoned agents either don't know what a vendor event is or don't know how to maximize and make the most out of a vendor event. So I thought I would just kick us off, because for those of you who have never been with me on a Friday live Q&A, first of all, welcome, glad you're here. And second of all, what I do is I always start off with a topic that I talk about for 10 to 20 minutes, and then I go to your live questions, and I ask that you ask questions that are general so that they are helpful to everyone. If you have a specific customer service question that applies to you only, please take that to customer service. So today we are talking about growing your business with vendor events. So the first thing that you probably want to know is, well, what is a vendor event? Or as I Googled, I'm showing you literally, like Google is your best friend. How do I find vendor events? Well, what popped up for me, even though there's like 700 million answers, what popped up for me was Las Vegas, Nevada vendor events in Eventbrite. So I can go to Eventbrite. Since I live in Las Vegas, it knows where I am, because, you know, that's how the creepy bots work. They know where you are at all times. And it knows I'm in Las Vegas, so it's telling it I could go onto Eventbrite. But I also wanted to show you the questions that other people asked. How do I find local events for vendors? What do you need for a vendor event? How do you succeed at a vendor event? So we're going to talk about that right now. First thing is where to find them. So what I did was I Googled small business trade show near me in 2022. So here's what's coming up. You know, My Vegas Small Business Expo, SEMA Show, Las Vegas. I don't know what that is. Small Business and Food Truck Safety Expo. So small business and food truck, that might not be one that I want to go to, but My Vegas Small Business Expo might be one that, oh, it's at Queensridge. That's interesting. It's where my sister lived. So that's weird. It's in a building where people live. Okay. So that's, and then I also have down here Live Small Business Expo Las Vegas. So you'll see as you scroll down that they're showing you. One person says that I don't hear you. All right, so let me write back to, I'm going to tell you to log back in, or check your mute button, because everybody else can hear me, or they would not, they would all be, they would all be reaching out saying, I can't hear you. All right, so that is where you find them. You Google small business trade shows. And then you can Google even more by niching events. So I just came back from the wellness event, and there were, 100 agents or so there that wanted to specialize in wellness. So here's the Las Vegas Health and Fitness Expo. That's a great one to go to. The Canadian Health and Wellness Innovations Conference. I don't know if that would really fit with me, since as a travel agent, I don't really work with, Canadian issues. I'm working with, uh, US ones. And then we have Urgent Care Association Convention. Again, that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for wellness. I'm looking for things that have to do with food, exercise, different types of health like acupuncture and all. So here's the thing. We are talking right now about being a vendor at one of these events. The other thing you could do is prospect for clients, or as we call them, Pied Pipers, people who are influencers. So for a wellness event, they wouldn't necessarily have to have a booth there. What they might want to do is have is go to the wellness event to meet the other trade show volunteers, not volunteers, I'm sorry, vendors, so that they can partner with them to create a group for them. However, because they're doing wellness travel, there's an exception there that they may want to be a vendor at that event, so that not only can they meet the other vendors, but everyone who's coming to the wellness event to find wellness solutions, like maybe people want more energy and they, like, okay, let me see. Oh, here's a gluten-free baker. Maybe that will help. Oh, here's an acupuncturist. Okay. Oh, here's a travel agent. How in the world are they going to help me? Ooh, look at that wellness retreat they're planning. Suddenly I feel very energized. I want to go there. So those are the different ways to find either small business events, because people are coming to check out all the small businesses, or you can niche for what you want to do. Like if you are looking to do adventure travel, you might look for anything that people that you think adventure would like. Car shows, because they like fancy cars, they might like adventure. Shows that have like water sports and things like that. So maybe there's a boat show and they have, booths for water skiing and those things that go, fly you up in the air, like, all kinds of things like that. You can be the travel agent there who who has adventure trips that they can go on. And you can definitely have one or two that tie in adventure water things, like perhaps, taking an adventure expedition trip to, by ship to Antarctica. Okay, so we have partners who do that. So that is how to find events where you could be a vendor. So next you're going to say, well, how do I host like this either live vendor event, or maybe you just want to do a virtual event on your own. Like maybe you have a specific thing that you want to, an event that you want to share virtually. Basically, I'll talk about that in the next one, but either way, if you're hosting a vendor booth live, you have a booth for yourself live, first thing you're going to do is choose your supplier, because you want to be, and this is where our suppliers are saying, hey, if you know that you're going to have 30 people or more, we will send you support materials, or they may even attend with you. So it really depends. Now, not every BDM, and that's business development manager, for those of you who are new and don't recognize that, your business development managers are the people who are in your agent supplier manual. So you've got a preferred partner supplier manual that has all 50 plus preferred partners. And you will watch those Work It Wednesdays that I do, and you can watch the replays, and you will see, like, Emilio from Norwegian has offered to send support materials. Maybe it's a tablecloth, maybe it's, you know, some other things, so that you can put together a group for Norwegian that they can book into. So this would, you know, when you are looking to do a virtual event or a vendor event with a supplier, then this is what I'm talking about. Now, you might choose to do a vendor event on your own, branding yourself, okay? And you can still brand yourself in alignment with a supplier. But just know that sometimes if you're a travel agent in a big event, people might not recognize you. But if you've got a giant Norwegian cruise line banner and the table, they might think that you are a Norwegian table. They recognize the name, the brand Norwegian, and they will come over to your table. And then, you know, yes, you're an independent agent who is promoting an event that you're doing in collaboration with Norwegian. All right. So you're going to choose your supplier. You're going to ask the BDM, what are the minimum attendees for this vendor event that I need in order for either you to attend or send support materials? And maybe they'll say 30. Okay. So then number 2, you're going to invite to your virtual event if they're doing a virtual one. And you're going to get 3 times the number of yeses needed. So in other words, if they said 30, you need to have 90 people saying yes, that they are going to attend before you go back to them and ask for those support materials. Because the reality is, if 30 say yes, you know, 10 might show. So if 90 say yes, then 30 will show, and you've done your upheld your end of the bargain. Or have documentation for the number of event attendees. So if you are renting a space to have your own vendor section, right? You've got your own table in your area, you've got your booth, as they call it. They are supposed to give you, the people who are running that event, the number of attendees who are registered. So you can go back to your BDM and say, there are 2,000 people registered for this event. What kind of materials can you send me? Or if it's in Florida and your BDM lives in Florida, you can say, hey, would you like to join me with this and help me sell into this group that we're doing? So, okay, so again, not every BDM is going to show up live. Most, you know, they don't have enough time. We've got, you know, 80,000 travel agents. If all 80,000 travel agents ask, even if 1% of 80,000, which I believe is 800. Don't make me do math in public, but I'm pretty sure that 1% of 80,000 is 800. If 800 agents said yes to them, will you come to my event? There are not 800 days in a year, okay? So we cannot expect our BDMs to show up and attend. However, they can send support materials, and some of them will attend. You just never know. If you are a big seller for them, you know, it just never hurts to ask. It never hurts to ask. And at least if you ask and they can't do it, they can support you in some way. All right. Next, you might be wondering, well, gosh, how do I do this? I mean, I've never done a vendor event before. What is expected of me? So the first thing is to have a plan. So the first thing that you want to plan is what your booth is going to look like. It might simply be a tablecloth with some brochures on it. But again, maybe you're getting from the vendor, maybe they're going to send you a step and repeat that you can borrow, which is that background that has their Norwegian all over it. And maybe they're going to send you some banners that you can set up. You got to think about, what is your table going to visually look like? Now, there are going to be people at those vendor events that spend $100,000 on a booth, and they're going to have like 10 TVs set up with different videos running. They're going to have things built. I mean, these are professional vendors who are I mean, and we're talking big events. But if you've ever been to a Dreammaker event or an ITQ event or any one of our specialty events like Gen X or we just had wellness, we have vendor events, we have a trade show, and basically our vendors show up with a tablecloth that has their branding on it, some giveaways for you, and sometimes it's brochures and maybe pens with their branding on it, and in this case you can either ask Norwegian to send you some pens with their branding on it, or you might want to go back into your Inteletravel back office where um, we have our print shop and get your own pens made with your information on it. Okay, so you might have some giveaways that you're doing there. That's number two. What takeaways are you bringing? What are they going to walk away with? How are they going to remember you? How are they going to remember what you're promoting? What is going to be on your table that they can walk away with? For me, the most important thing on this list isn't even number 4, your promotion. It's number 3. How will you capture contact information? Because people might not be buying what you're selling that day, but you want to get them on your list. You have your CRM in the back office. We also have the new, oh gosh, I'm just blanking on what it's called, but we have a new CRM system that Jessica Deverson is heading up. It's called like not Star. Oh gosh, if somebody remembers the name of the new CRM system that we got going, IntelliSpark. Thank you to Bianca Hill. Thank you, Bianca. IntelliSpark. Yes, thank you, Timothy. IntelliSpark. It's our new CRM. You want people in there. Okay, let us help with the work. Let us send things out on your behalf. Okay, so how will you capture contact information? My suggestion is that you have some type of fishbowl, shoebox, um, Norwegian bag, if you're showing Norwegian, where people are dropping their business cards. Or because so many people these days have QR codes and things like that, they don't have something to physically drop. Although, things to note, if you are going to a vendor show, print out business cards, because a lot of old school people will have you put things into a bowl to choose a winner. Now, the more tech savvy people are going to have a QR code for you to scan and fill in your information. So maybe you do that. Have a QR code there for them to scan. So for the people who are more tech savvy and would rather do that, they can do that. And then you also have a fishbowl for the old school people who are bringing their business cards. Now, you can even go and be even more helpful to them, just in case, where you print out a bucket list or a check it list, like here are the places, or a book it list, things where you want to go and what you are asking for, and you can print them out on one piece of paper, 4 per page, and then you cut them up, right? So you've got tons of them, and have it be very basic, so that if you have Kinko's or FedEx Kinko's, whatever it is, print out 1,000 of them for you, that if only 200 fill in, that you can use it for the next vendor show and the next vendor show. And you want it to be their name, their phone number, their email address, their mailing address. Why? Because we have a partnership with Ensemble where they get sent print things. Okay. So, and then after you have those three things, well, their name is the fourth, but there are ways to contact them, their phone, their email, and their mailing address, and let them know you must have all things to be put into the drawing. Then you ask, what are 3 places on your bucket list, / bucket list / check it list, like whatever they want it to be. Where are 3 places where they most want to go? All right, and then they put that in the fishbowl, and then you are going to give out the prize at the end. It could be a 3-day, 2-night getaway that you also get in your back office under your travel incentives. It can be a gift card. You do not have to say how much the gift card is. People don't care. Like, they just want to win something. All right. So there you go. Have your promotion. Maybe have 3. Don't have more than 3 because people, confused mind doesn't buy. Have your main promotion that you're doing with Norwegian. And if people are not interested in cruising, have a land package that you're doing, and have something that shows like an FIT that you could put it together for them. Build a trip with me and go away, something like that. All right, and then you want to ask yourself before you go, how will you know it was a success? So perhaps you'll know it was a success if you get 100 names in your fishbowl, contact information from 100 names. Perhaps you will know it was a success if 3 people want to book into your promotion. And the reason why I say this is because if you have, and maybe you can have both of those things, maybe you have a goal for how many contact information you're going to capture, and maybe you have a goal for how many people are going to sign up for your promotion. Okay. And the reason why it's important to know that is because you're going to steer your conversation toward your goal. So if your goal is to have, 200 people putting their contact information in, you're going to be very focused on getting people to put their name in the fishbowl. Very focused on that because you know that your goal is to get that number, hit that number. But if you have a goal for getting 3 people to sign up for your promotion that day, give you their contact information because they want to go, and they want to put a down payment down, and they're going to fill out your form, right? They're going to fill out, whatever it is that you have. Maybe you have something on your iPad that they need to fill out to book into the trip right then and there. Your conversation is going to be very different with the people who come to your table because you're going to be focused on getting those 3. So you're going to have higher level conversations. So know how you'll know if it's a success.